Hello, welcome. I am Jubetsy. I am new on YouTube, so this is my first official vlog, I think. I've tried making other vlogs, but they haven't been working out, so I never posted them. So here we are. Today I am making the Ophelia tank top by Tamara Jordan. This is a project that I've honestly been wanting to make for a really long time. I'm a pretty new knitter. I've been crocheting for about I want to say 6 years now. I'm very new to knitting, and lately I've been having a really hard time with clothes making just because I don't really understand the swatching. I don't understand the sizing. I have everything that I make comes out like way too big. So I've tried to take all the necessary precautions to avoid all of that, but there's always going to be a possibility. Yeah, so I've been wanting to make the Ophelia tank and top, but I've held off just because I'm so new and I've failed so many times. I decided this is going to be it, making this one and make it work. I am using, just going to show you, I'm using this really, really pretty yarn. Yeah, it's called Rosa Pomar Mondim. Mondum? I don't know if I'm saying that wrong. It's a very, very pretty yarn. I love this yarn. It's 100% Portuguese wool, and it is, if I'm not mistaken, this is a fingering weight yarn. My first time using a fingering weight yarn. I've stayed away from it just because I know that the projects take longer when you're working with small needles and small yarn. It's, takes longer. But I know that it also is perfect because it achieves a beautiful drapage, which I did swatch. I had to swatch 3 times in order to see if this would work out. So 3 swatches. Out of those 3 swatches, the pattern actually calls for a 2.75 millimeter needle, but when I swatched with the 2.75, it was way too small. So I made like a big jump to the size 4 because the yarn itself says that you can knit with 2 to 4 millimeter needles. So I went up to size 4 and I got an extra stitch. So I decided to kind of like balance out the 2 and go with something more in the middle. I believe I swatched with a size 3.25 as well, and it came out small. So I went with a 3.75, and that, after blocking it and everything, came out pretty close to what I'm looking for. The only thing is it came out with smaller rows, so I'm assuming I'm going to have to add more rows onto my piece as I'm working on it. The good thing about this pattern is that it has like different checkpoints, try-on checkpoints, so you can actually see if it's coming out the way that you want it. So I'm very excited. I'm not gonna lie, I did already start it. So I got too excited and I didn't do an intro. So I have started this project already. And hold on, it's just a disaster. Okay. So I have about, I want to say this is about 20 rows so far. It starts with the neckline. So it starts with the upper back. So I did already start making the upper back. I had to work German short rows, and I don't even think you can tell that there are German short rows. Maybe you can. I had never actually done German short rows before, so that was a really interesting way. I'm thinking that this is like just such an interesting way of making a top, so I'm feeling pretty confident that I can work and kind of, if I see myself like needing more rows and stuff, like I feel confident about adding those rows without it messing up the piece. So I'm looking forward to it. The great thing is that this yarn actually has beautiful drapage, especially after you block it and let it dry completely. I'm feeling very confident. I have to say, I am knitting a size 4, which I'm making it a little slightly like smaller. The pattern calls for a neutral ease, but I'm going for a bit of a tighter ease just because I am in the process of like trying to lose some weight. So I'm hoping that as I lose that weight, I can still wear this top now, and I can still wear it, and it'll still have a nice fit after I lose a little bit of that weight. I will continue to do little updates as I go. I'm gonna knit right now. Just knitting the length of. There's about 58 rows that I have to make to complete and get to the underarms to start working those increases to start shaping the under like arms. I think after that we start working up front. So yeah, I'm just gonna start knitting that up, and yeah, I will check in with you later. Hello, I'm back. I just wanted to show a little bit of my progress since it's been, I think, 2 days since I initially started, not started knitting the project, but since I made my last little like intro update. So we've done a good amount of work so far. Nice chunk of it. It's looking so nice. I'm so excited. I can already see the drapage and how pretty this fabric is gonna look. I did the upper back, which is like this length down here, and now if you can see it, I don't know if you can, but you can see that I've started making some increases here to start kind of like expanding it out. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting nervous because it looks super thin, like it doesn't look wide enough to fit me. I'm scared that it's gonna be like stretching the stitches, but excuse me. I know that this pattern has a really nice like customization points where you can customize like the bust, you can customize the waist and the hips. So I know that like this is just the back. So when I get to the front area, when I start working that, which is actually the next point after these increases, I believe I'm gonna start working that front part. Very excited about it. I can finally like see like how it's gonna fit, and if it's looking too small, I believe there's a part in this pattern where it'll show me how to add more increases and do more things to kind of like make it fit my bust. So I'm very excited to finish these last few increases, because then I get to start working on the front part, which is exciting because it's just gonna be like one more step closer to try on checkpoint, and I can finally see if it's like really working out. Not gonna lie, this pattern is working up very quickly. It's I did this in 2 days. I'm not a fast knitter. I'm new really to knitting, so the idea that I made this so quickly is very exciting. Like, it motivates me more to work on this, but it also just makes me think, how soon am I going to be able to wear this? I'm supposed to be going on a trip soon, and I assumed that I'd be taking this project with me. But like, I'm also like kind of excited about the idea of like potentially like finishing it on my trip and wearing it over there. So we'll find out. But yeah, so I think I'm just gonna keep working on some increases, and I'm gonna work the front a little bit. And I think I'm just gonna check back in when I get to like close to that like try on checkpoint. Yeah, I'll be back. I'm back. I'm doing my update. My background has changed because, as I said before, I went on vacation, so I am at my grandmother's house. But I tried on the shirt. I finally got to the point where I could try it on, and it's way too big. You can see there's so much space, and I'm wearing a t-shirt, so imagine just how big this top is gonna be. Very frustrating, just because I think I'm gonna have to like undo the whole top and start over, which is not ideal, but I do want this to work out. Excuse me. So I'm thinking of going down 2 sizes. So that would take me from a size 4 to a size 2, just because I want this to fit well. And I mentioned earlier that I do plan on losing some weight, so I want to be able to like wear this as long as I can. So I'm gonna undo this whole thing. I'm going to restart on size 2. I'm gonna knit the whole way up to this point again, and then I'm gonna do a checkpoint again, just to see. I'm hoping this will fix the problem. I don't know where I went wrong. I mentioned earlier that this is something that like I've had issues with when every top that I make, the size is always way too big, and I gauge swatched like 3 or 4 times for this top. and measured myself, and I just keep running into issues. I'm gonna try to do some research. This was a trial and error anyways. I'm thinking that maybe my gauge versus my actual top is looser when I knit like a full piece versus a gauge. I'm thinking that's what causes this like extra like space, and possibly the top may have like just this yarn may have stretched, which is another thing. So I'm gonna have all this written out. I'm trial again. This is a trial by error thing, so it's good to know. And this is the moments that make me better as a knitter. So I will, yeah, check back in when I restart everything and get back to this point. Okay, so I'm back after a couple of weeks, and here is the top. I've connected it right here at the front. I did a few rows, and I did try it on, and it finally fits. I'm very excited. It makes all the work that I did worth it. And yeah, so it took me a few weeks to get to this point because when I came back from my trip, I kind of took a break from the top. I was pretty disappointed that I had to undo all that work. But now we're back, and I'm looking very forward to continuing with the top. And so I believe now I'm going to start doing decreases along the sides, and because this hits like the fullest part of my bust right now, so should be a couple of decreases, and then I'm going to start shaping the waist. So yeah, I'm just going to keep working on it. So I'm back with my final update. It's my final because I finished my Ophelia top. It's very pretty. I love it. Here, let me hold it up. I love it. It looks very nice. It's got such pretty details. I don't know if you can see this like nice like little lace edging. It's also some nice lace. Same design here at the bottom hem. It's so pretty. And it's also got a split hem, which is really nice. So a few notes. I kind of locked in and just continued to knit and knit and knit until I got this to finally be done, because I have a new upcoming project that I have to get done, and so I had to kind of like just finally finish this before I moved on to something new. A few notes about this is this is made from 100% Portuguese wool. Therefore, it is itchy. I've never worked with wool, so when I've worked with wool, it has been a blend of alpaca, and alpaca tends to soften the fibers for that reason, because wool is really itchy, and I want to wear this. We're now in the summer. I started this in the spring. It might be a little hard to wear, even though you can wear wool in the summer. It's good to like because it absorbs moisture and it keeps you cool. But there's not a lot of drape to it either. It doesn't. Maybe you can't really tell, but it's very stiff. So I looked up to see if there's a way to soften wool, and I learned that if I soak it in vinegar and if I soak it in conditioner, because wool is basically just hair, it's got the same kind of like, I forget what it's called, what our hair is made of. So just like conditioner softens our hair, conditioner can also soften wool fibers. So I'm gonna try it because I have to block it anyways. I'm hoping that this ends up loosening the fibers, softening the fibers, because it also is kind of tight around my waist, even though The pattern accounted for some loosening. I kind of just went with the pattern. I didn't try to do a whole lot of modifying because I'm still new to knitting. I'm hoping that with the blocking, I've had very good like success with loosening my clothes. Like I made a top in the past that was like very tight. I blocked it and now it fits very nice. So I'm hoping this will loosen it around the waist so it feels more like a neutral ease rather than a negative ease on my body. So I will go block this off screen. Once it's ready and blocked and beautiful, I will come back to finally show you what it looks like. I will give you an update on whether or not the conditioner helped soften the fibers. So, okay. Hello, I'm back. I just wanted to do a final shoot of a final update about the Ophelia top. I am wearing my Ophelia top. I thought I would do this cute little outro at the beach, but it might be a little too loud, I don't know. So the top is finished, it's out in the wild. It was a labor of love, but I'm really happy with how it came out. And the conditioning did help with the itchiness. I'm very excited that that worked. I really thought this was not going to be wearable, but it worked, and we're here now. And I have successfully made the Ophelia top. So thank you so much for coming along on, just watching me ramble and fail and then succeed. And yeah, I'll probably be back with more vlogs hopefully soon. All right, bye.